exciting when I jumped on there. All right, so my name's Leilani, and I'm a former public and private school teacher. And every Tuesday, I am making it a point to come on here to talk about homeschooling, because I homeschool my 4 kids, and talk about evaluations, portfolio, curriculum, blah, blah, whatever you guys want to talk about. Actually, I'm going to retract that because, I mean, you can ask me whatever you want to. Okay, just ask me. But I am going to actually start adding topics to these conversations so that there's some kind of direction. If we completely change direction, that's totally fine. I'm here for you guys and what you want, but at least I have something to start off with. So actually, I'm going to put a poll up sometime next week. If hopefully these are helpful to you, because I see a lot of you guys jumping on. And please leave me a comment, a question down in the description box below. So tonight's theme is curriculum. Don't feel like you have to stick with that topic, but I'm going to start with that topic, curriculum. And feel free also, if you can think of another topic that I should touch on, let me know. But every Tuesday at 9:45 through the summer, probably I'm gonna aim for like August, like, because August gets crazy and then nobody watches YouTube anymore. Like, everybody just goes into their zone. But through mid-August, maybe early August, I'll kind of play it by ear to see where you guys are. I'm gonna be doing these lives just to kind of answer some questions for you guys and give you some ideas and that kind of thing. So if you guys have any questions, go for it. And I said I was going to talk about curriculum, and I literally have no idea. I was like racking my brain. I was like, what kind of curriculum should I talk about? But I do know it's fresh on my mind because I did evaluations and portfolios and testing literally all day today. I have no voice. And Tuesdays are my work days, and sometimes Fridays, depending upon if I can get someone to watch the kids. Which is usually my husband. So, basically once a month I do Fridays. And sometimes I scatter emergency evaluations between. Anyway, enough about me and my job, which is to help you guys. Curriculum. I was trying to, well, I should ask you, let me ask you, what is your favorite curriculum? That's my question. For you guys, let's start with that. What is your favorite curriculum that you absolutely love and you would never stray from it? And just what's your favorite curriculum? And I'm going to answer your question. I will, Fran. Actually, this is a quick answer. Can I include YouTube read alouds or audiobooks in homeschool reading lists? Yes, you can. The answer is yes. And you can put note that it's an audiobook, or you don't have to. It's however you want to. Okay, so yeah, pop any questions, but tell me, what is your favorite curriculum that you are 100% never going to change? Well, maybe not. I should never say 100%. Nothing's ever 100%. But that you are, as of right now, like, you love it and you want to announce to the world how amazing it is. So mine, I have IEW. I think that's, I mean, of all the curriculum, I really think IEW, and yes, I do affiliate with them. And this is, I don't mean to come on here and be like, buy IEW, and I'm affiliate, but that's not why but I really do love that curriculum. So teaching the classics for literature. So I love this because I get to learn so much. Teaching the classics for literature. I have not heard of that one yet. And then, see, Stephanie gets on here and she's like, IEW for my 6th grader. See, IEW is just so good. I would love to learn more about teaching the classics for literature. I would love for you to share anything about that, because that sounds very intriguing. Writing and rhetoric, which really complements IEW well, I think, in my opinion, because I have used both IEW. My son, who is going into 9th grade, has actually gone through every single IEW, that all the structure and styles, the majority. We didn't do Narnia. Oh, teaching. Look at this, IEW. Y'all are IEW fans. But my son, but the classic, that's funny because, are you the person I evaluated today? Or did a consultation today, because we had that conversation about teaching the classics for literature. I'm kind of curious if you are I don't want to say your name, but I'm curious if you are that person, because it would be really funny if like two people in one day bring up the classics for literature. Um, yeah, that's high school, I believe. But I know you can tweak it if you want to go lower. But I have done, my son, my ninth grader, has done, wait, teaching the classics is through. Yeah, that's what she wrote. Oh, my brain is going. Okay, I love this. What are your thoughts on classical conversations? That you're opening a can of worms by asking me that question. Like, for real. So, okay. I'm taking a deep breath because I know that I have to answer honestly now when you guys ask me these questions. Okay, so these are my personal opinions. Complete personal opinion. I have never been a part of a CC group. I have spoken to many people who have, and I've watched a lot of online videos about it, trying to decide if this is what is right for my family. And of course, I decided that it wasn't what was right for my family. I have a video that I made a while ago, and it goes pretty much in depth. And when I did that video, I had classical conversations in mind when it came to classical education, and what I have learned since then, which ironically came through the comment section. All it took was like one person to leave like a little seed, and then I went crazy like looking into it. But what I have learned is that classical conversations is not the end all be all for classical education. And at that time when I made that video, that was kind of what I saw as classical education, the majority of it. Not to say that I've noticed that there is a lot of similarities with just basically the classical style. Obviously, the style as a whole has similarities, but classical conversation is under that umbrella. It's an organization, and they have very strong, it has very strong, I can't think of the word right now. I don't even know what the word to use is, but they stand firm in certain beliefs. How about that? And they do, leak into political realm, but they also leak into faith realm. And okay. Yeah, I'm reading the comments as you guys go through. Classical conversations. I have found from my experience that the people that I have met that are a part of CC, there has been like this arrogance that has come along with them, just getting to know them, that CC's the best, CC is smarter than all the other kids, and they're just this prestige kind of, it almost seems like this social club, everybody's smarter than everybody else. So that, but I know that's not true for everyone. I can only speak to the 5 or 6 people that I've met. And so that to me concerned me, because I personally don't want to give off any of that, and I don't want to be a part of anything that gives off that kind of arrogance. And I don't want to have that approach where I think this is the only way to educate your child. That was my Mandalorian side note. I can answer that question. I got to finish my statement. With that being said, there's also the 3 different developmental ages. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I talk about them in the video. And the first one, I know CC does a lot of memory work. I understand getting foundations with memory is good. I don't know. I think most of it, the turnoff for me was the arrogance. And then we also had a situation in the state of Florida with a scholarship that was offered, and there was a big, I don't know how public I can even talk about that, but there was like a dispute about it and within the CC groups, and it just really gave off a really bad, it made me not like that situation. I'm trying not to go into detail. It just, for me, it gave a bad taste in my mouth. However, I know it's not the same for everyone, and I know that I probably should speak to those people that said those things before I come on YouTube and talk about it. But I guess the big thing is that I don't want to, I don't know. I think I said what I had to say. I think another thing is too, it's very rigorous and strict to one specific way of teaching your child. You are doing these curriculums, you can't budge from those. You are going to meet, I think it's like 2 days a week, I think, these 2 days a week, and you are going to teach and be a part of it in this manner. But you can't be a part of other groups. And I mean, I guess you could be a part of other groups, but it seems very, it doesn't give me much flexibility, and I don't like not having flexibility. I had no flexibility for 10 years in the public school system, and one of the things that happened to me when I left the public school system is I ran the opposite direction because I could not handle that strict, you know, like, and I had to run, but I have come back to loving scheduling again and that kind of stuff, which makes me think of, you know, why kids, when they turn 18, they rebel sometimes, but they do come back. That's like the prodigal son with scheduling. But anyway, I still like to pick my curriculum too. So I feel like I just went off on a bunny trail, but I hope that kind of answered that question. Okay, I'm going to go back and look at these. It's a tough, but then again, I've never been to a CC. And that's all I know. I do know the curriculum they use, IEW they use, and I love IEW. So they also will use some of, another thing about CC that concerns me is the Greek mindset. And I have a video about that because of my love for scriptures and wanting to look at things more from a Hebraic mindset instead of Greek. And I feel like there is a push in the classical with CC for that Greek mindset, which is when you take scriptures who were written by people with Hebrew mindsets and push the Greek mindset, you're not going to completely interpret things properly. And so I have a whole, like, I talk about that whole thing. And I know they claim my father's world comes from a Hebraic classical education. I'm not quite sure about that. I love my father's world actually a lot, but there are a lot of things in there that our culture is very Greek anyway. So it's really hard to get away from it. And I'm not saying like Greek mindset is bad. It's just that's not how the scriptures were written. They weren't written with a Greek mindset. And they were written, and yes, they were written in the Greek language, but not with a Greek mindset. There's also a push, I've noticed with some of these classical, a push for mythology and a lot of these Greek gods, Roman gods, these kind of stories. And I just don't want my kids I don't see the importance of learning that at such a young age. So in my mind, I'm like, they need to learn the stories of like David and Goliath and Jesus and the Bible and scriptures, and understand foundational stuff with scriptures. They should know the Bible and the depth of the Bible deeper than any of those Greek philosophers. So that's another thing that I have. But I like the techniques used with classical education. And the techniques that I like include the really strong writing and rhetoric, the push for writing and rhetoric, and being able to communicate what you have inside your head, whether verbally or written. And I think the writing, rhetoric. What's the third one? Is it, I can't remember. There's 3 that the classical education, if you know it, just type it in. But there's 3, but I know writing and rhetoric are huge. And I really 100% think that needs to be priority, actually, at least in my homeschool. I want my kids to be able to communicate properly, especially when they need something, And our leaders have to communicate, period. So if they're going to be in leadership, they need to communicate and be able to write well. If they want to go to college, or if they want to be anything that requires college education, or even if they're just going to go to vocational school, they still need to communicate directions to another person, like step-by-step instructions. Eventually, everybody's going to be some kind of teacher and leader in their life. So being able to communicate is super important. So that's one thing, actually, that's like the big thing that I love about classical education. That's why I love IEW so much. And that's why I love Andrew Pudewa so much. I think I'm sold out on IEW because of Andrew Pudewa. And he's amazing. And fun fact about Andrew Pudewa is like he remembers people. Like he remembers people and details about people. He is sharp as a whip. Like people, like when you get to know, like I don't even know him that well, but he is so sharp. And he will remember people. He will remember people and situations. The guy is so smart. And anyway, side note, fun fact. Okay, I do have questions and people are coming and going. I'm on a tangent. I also have teaching classics CDs. About the teaching classics, we plan on using it next year with 5th grade. Okay. It is teacher intensive. All the IEWs that are not structure and style are teacher intensive. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at teaching the classics then. I thought for some reason that was high school. Maybe okay. Is that the new one? Is that the new one? That's the new one, isn't it? All right, I'm considering homeschooling my kids, but I speak more Spanish than English. Can it? Yes. Please teach your children Spanish and English. I would die for my kids to know Spanish. Yes. Okay, like back to your question. CCC, can it be possible for me to homeschool my kids even though I speak more Spanish than English? Yes. Yes. Like, I don't even know how to stress that anymore. Like, teach them in Spanish and then learn English together. If you can, hopefully you can find some curriculum. I don't know any Spanish curriculum, but I know there's some out there. I know I have seen BJU, I believe I know Becca has a Spanish. I shouldn't say this unless I'm 100% sure, because I'm not 100% sure, but check some of those big ones to see if they've Spanish curriculum translated. Yes, don't let a language barrier slow you down. Okay, hello. Do you know if there are any resources for locating homeschool co-ops in your area? Facebook tends to. If you go to Facebook and look for groups, that's probably honestly going to be your best resource, or just Google in general. Homeschool conventions. If you go to homeschool conventions, you might find that a local co-op has a booth, and then that might be a starting point. So, and yeah, that would be my suggestion. 7th grade science curriculum. Apologia. Don't mess with master books if you want to do science experiments. Even though Answers in Genesis is very good, master books, their curriculum for 7th grade will not have science experiments for you as much. There might be like sprinkled in, but if you want the science experiments and you want the full scope, Apologia. That would be, after IEW, would be my second favorite. Those are hard ties. That's a tie. I don't know, IEW, Apologia, that's a tie. Because they're so different and so wonderful. And so, okay, Apologia, that's what I recommend. For Apologia, it depends on their 7th grade level. So they may be ready for the general science curriculum, which is rigorous, but it's amazing. And it's from, just so you know, I will always, when it comes to science and I make a recommendation, I will recommend things from a creation perspective, that God created the universe. That's where I will recommend science curriculum. And that Apologia does that. But I mean, Apologia doesn't harp on it, but it's there. And same with master books if you want to go more. Master books is one where you read, finish the worksheet every single day, and then a science experiment sprinkled in here and there. That's how Master Books works. And I will say for Master Books, their best curriculum that they have is the science. And they get different authors from, so they like to take real books, Master Books does, and then write a worksheet based off of that book per day, a worksheet per day. So for example, they'll do, if they have 4 books that they're basing the curriculum on, the first book will be for the first 9 weeks, and you read 2 pages and you answer questions. That's kind of how Master Books works. Another one, the Berean, I believe it's called Berean. That's the one that Jay Wiles wrote. He left Apologia and then started his own company. He had a disagreement with Apologia. That's not a secret. I think everybody knows that by now. The details of the disagreement, that's another story. So that would be something, because I feel, I don't know the whole story, but what I know, I don't want to start rumors, but you know, for some people, I know that the disagreement might be important as into which one you're going to pick between his Berean and Apologia. I really like Apologia. Dr. Jay Wiles actually wrote the Apologia High School curriculum, but he left and started Berean. And Berean will actually cover, I believe it's called Berean Press. It will cover all grades from what I understand, and he does it through history. So he goes through the, he starts, and he is creation. He starts, I believe, like ancient, and works through all the discoveries while explaining science. And so it's a really unique way of studying science. Yeah. And it also helps with history too. So I kind of like that technique. If that's your style, I'm still a fan of Apologia. General science. If you don't do general science, then I would recommend for 7th grade, their physical, because that goes so close to the general science. Their nutrition one, maybe the human body and anatomy, that one's like 5th grade. There's an earth science one that's pretty advanced. And that one still falls under the elementary school one, like the earth science one. But that could be taught to a 7th grader. It just depends on his level. It really does. Okay. Thank you for the CC conversation. Yay. You touched all I was thinking. Oh, good. I feel weird because I can't see people's faces. And I don't know what kind of, what you're thinking when I'm making these comments. So thank you for writing that confirmation. And if people disagree with me, you can write the same thing too. Because even though I'm like, no, and I might delete your comment or whatever, it sticks in here. And then I think about it and I pray over it. Oh, cool. Easy Peasy has a Spanish speaking group on Facebook. Awesome to know. Grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Okay, cool. There we go. Debate, question mark. I love debate. I love it. Apologetics. Yeah, we need to know how to defend writing, reading, arithmetic. Well, the arithmetic is not pushed that much when it comes to the classical education. Wait, freeze. They're talking, those are the stages, grammar, logic, and rhetoric, right? Of the classical education. The grammar stage, then is logic the second one? I don't know. My video that I made a few years ago has all that information in there because I researched it. And then because I don't use it all the time, I have forgotten it. But I researched it and I put it in that video. You are the best teacher for your kids. Amen. Yep. I love Beginnings Publishing. It's color science, rainbow science, and spectrum chemistry. I've never heard of that one. That one's the good. Michelle Smith. Is that the Michelle Smith I know personally? Good and the Beautiful Science is really good and straightforward. Yeah. With Good and the Beautiful, it's really well put together. I will say that. Special needs ninth grader. Tried Math UC, learn math fast, game schooling for math. I'd like to switch gears and only focus on real world basic math. Any curriculum for older kids. You guys have to leave some comments. Real world math, basic math, teaching textbooks, I think would be in that category. Real world math, real world math. See, the first one that comes to mind is teaching textbooks. Teaching textbooks is just, they're good. They are good. Yeah, that's the only one that comes to mind. I'm hoping you guys have thoughts. All right, purposeful design as a great science curriculum, and that one is Christian. I keep hearing that one, purposeful design, purposeful design. I'm gonna look that up. I don't have, because I'm talking to my phone, and I can't just grab my phone and be like, I need to find another way to do this. The good and the beautiful science is mostly like a broad range surface level, but not very good and going deep. I'm glad you said it, not me. That's why I did I will say this about good and the beautiful, though, is that for someone who is brand new to homeschooling and very much used to how the public school works and are wanting to make that transition gently from the public school world to the homeschool world, it is a very smooth transition. And that's why you're going to see with the science, it's going to cover pretty much the same kind of stuff that they do in the public or private school. And it's going to be very gentle, and it's not going to be overwhelming, and it's going to make a good experience for the first year. However, I would look at other resources as well. But some people do stick with the good and the beautiful. I guess, once again, it comes down to, it just really depends on you. I have to be very careful with that one. With the good and the beautiful, I have my opinion. But it is what it is. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's very much like, it's like the public school, and it's like the private school, the same style, the same layout, and the same patterns. But they will bring in it's beautiful, as in like the colors are very beautiful, and the writing, like there's some really nice literature in there that's beautiful. It doesn't go super deep. It's a good transition. And then what I'm saying is, like, from there, you know your child better, and you can now explore different curriculum that can cater to their style. But like I said, some people stick with the good and the beautiful because it works really well for them. So I personally have like a lot of thoughts. For me personally, we don't use it. So I tried it. I did try it. Do you have an opinion on the university model schooling? We have UMS program in our area, and so when I think university model schooling, I think that it's a class for a semester is, 3 credits and 3 hours for one semester. So one class, 3 hours, and then you have a ton of homework. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. I do know a lot of co-ops will actually kind of operate like a college class where you meet once a week or twice a week, and then you have a ton of homeschool work that your parents keep track of. I would go and visit, and I would see if it's a good fit for you, because I'm not really sure like all the details if it fits your kids. So in that sense, what I just mentioned, what I thought a university model schooling would be, I would say that's great if they're going to go to college, and yeah, why not? Get them ready. Okay, just got here. I just heard of real world math curriculum the other day. I'll see if I can find it. Okay, Denison. I keep forgetting about Denison. They're brand new. Yes. Denison, it's not going to be advanced math. So if your child wants to be an engineer and they're like really good at math, it's not going to work for them that want to make like that 800 in the math portion of the SATs. But Denison is for your kid that wants to go to school and become a teacher. So want to go to, you know, maybe they want to go to, they don't want to be a physicist or a mathematician or an engineer. How about that? We'll go the opposite direction. I was trying to think of it as, I use teacher as an example. I don't know why. Unless you're a math teacher. So yeah. But anyway, Denison, yes. And Denison, he was a high school teacher. And if you know Pennies and Salt, Megan over there, that was her high school math teacher. It's so a small world. It's crazy. Critical Thinking Company has a great math curriculum for pre-algebra, algebra 1, and geometry. I've never used it, but I do like the Critical Thinking Company. Not consumed math. Wait, not consumed consumer math for real life. Let's get that right. Not consumed consumer math for real life. I've never heard of that one either. I hope you're writing these down. Thank you for the math suggestions. Oh, look. I'm like, I hope you're writing them down. Next comment. Thank you for the math suggestions. I'm writing them down to research. Like, we think alike. Okay, cool. Awesome. The UMS program in our area is something like 3 days in a class, 2 days at home, like a blend of private and homeschooling. I would, like I said, I would go and visit and I would see if, so this is what I would look for. Do you like their curriculum? Does it match with your reasons for homeschooling? Like, why are you homeschooling? Is it because you want a better education? Because you know that homeschooling education has a potential of being better than doing public-private school? Is it because of a special needs situation or a discipline situation where your child has been, you know, removed from the school, or you're getting a phone call every single day? Or is it because of a faith-based reason? You know, a lot of curriculum out there in the public school does not agree with our faith. And, or if it's a political reason, you know, you got to understand what is your main purpose for homeschooling. You need to write that down and you need to have that memorized. So when you go into the school and you look at their, I would look at their curriculum, because the reality is the curriculum is actually what's teaching our kids, and the teachers are just kind of facilitating it and doing all their teacher thing, which is a very difficult, hard job and very important job, even for the teachers in public school right now, because that is a calling. It is not easy, but I would look at the curriculum. I would make sure to research the curriculum to see if it fits with your goals and your standards. And then I would make sure to talk to the teachers to get to understand them a little bit more. And, you know, them as a person. I'm really big about connecting with, like, for example, I'm really big connecting with the author of a curriculum to see if you click with them. And then also when you're in the schools, just observe the kids as well. If you can get into a class, if you can get into a classroom and see a classroom type setting, I would observe the kids. I would observe how they respect the teacher and each other. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It never is, especially during May. It's not going to be perfect. But you can get a sense of their personality and how the class, if you watch how the classes run, and then that would be my best bet. Just go and observe. And if it fits with those things and it fits your schedule, you said 3 days in class, it's a blend of homeschool and private school. If that fits, do it. If it doesn't, don't do it and find something else. If you just, it's one of those things, I don't know if you're religious or faith-based, pray about it and ask the Lord to show you if it's a yes or no, and he'll do those things for you. So yeah, those are my suggestions. I actually use the Good and the Beauty of Math. It works for my kids. We also use Beast Academy. Ooh, Beast Academy. I heard that was really good. I did. The Consumer Math from BJU. Is that the same one? Write that down. Consumer Math and then the other Consumer Math. not consumed consumer math for life. I think that's what it was. Hybrid models were more widely accepted and available. Yeah. I think they're going to be more available. There's a couple here in our area, like actually a couple hybrid. It's funny too, because with the hybrid type stuff, it's almost like you have to play politics with words, and you have to call it something else, even though it operates like a hybrid, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. There's a lot of political language that you have to kind of, for example, let me think of a good example. I can only speak to the state of Florida, but wow, I don't even know if I can think of a good example. It might be a horrible example. You know, a co-op can operate as a nonprofit and offer, you know, classes where the kids are in classes all day for 2 days, and it kind of operates as a hybrid, but they're not called a hybrid, and they still classify as homeschool. Yet you've got other things like umbrella schools that are considered private schools because they're umbrella schools, and they can operate in many, many different ways, where to the point where like there's no accountability and no meetings and no classes. All you have to do is turn in your attendance and your grades once a year. But then you can also have some that say, this is your curriculum that you're using, and this is how often you do it, and they can be very strategic, or not strategic, very strict. So anyway, I did the Abeka Consumer High School Math as a student a long time ago and liked it well enough. There you go. Yes, I'm looking into the legalities of the hybrid model words, and yeah. It's tricky. It's funny. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and when you start to see, and I've only gotten like a little pinch and taste of this compared to, I haven't been to Tallahassee or anything I have been to Tallahassee, but I haven't, and I have participated in a lobbying situation. I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah, I have, but it had nothing to do with homeschool or schooling. It had to do with saving a saving a building, and in a historical district, and labeling it as a historical, and like dealing with those laws. Anyway, that was like 20 years ago when I was in college. Things you do in college. But what I'm trying to say, wow, that was like a total sidetrack. What I was trying to say is, when you start to understand, or when you start to see all the things that are going on in the government, and the things that need to, you know, just like you see the inner workings of all of this. And when I say that, I have a like they're giving me an ice chip of the iceberg kind of thing. Because I do know some lobbyists and some people on the board, and they tell me stories and I hear from them and stuff. I start to see how it works within other people that just don't know what's going on. And it's just such an interesting, it's just so interesting. I don't know how else to put it. It makes me feel like the more you know what I'm talking about, the more you know, the more secure you feel in what you're doing. I can say for sure certain things that I know, because I know the laws, and I also know how they are operating in government, and how things are getting pushed around and shoved, and money and all the things, and how there's this desire, because you've got the law, but then you've got the politicians that are trying to control the law and change the law and manipulate the law. And it's just like, and who am I going to support? I'm going to support, I want to get involved with politics, or government, when it comes to homeschooling, to support the homeschoolers for our legal right to vote. However that needs to be done, we want it done in a way that protects our rights. And if we have to, because sometimes you have to like cater a little bit to them to get what you want. It's like a game. It's like a push and pull. And it's very interesting. And I'm not comfortable going into detail. But then again, not all of you are from Florida, because now I'm finding out, I've been looking, there's stuff in Michigan, but Missouri, that's crazy. That is crazy stuff. I'm really excited to go to the FPA this next week to hear a lot of all the things that are changing with the HSLDA. I'm going to be attending, hopefully, because I know I'm volunteering as well for the FPA, the convention this year. So awesome. Okay, so there's 30 of you guys, which is a good number. Oh, good. I was like, does anybody have more questions? Christian virtual schools for elementary. Does Liberty Press have one? I don't know. Only because I don't do online schooling. So guys in the audience, like, comment some Christian virtual schools for elementary school if you know of any, because I don't. And I think I'm gonna say like Sunlight might have some. Sunlight might. And that's a hard one. BJU might. I feel like BJU might. And Becca has videos that you can do the curriculum along with the videos, if I'm not mistaken, because I did an evaluation today, actually, and the mom was telling me that she had to work full time and that it was really helpful to have those videos and do a Becca. So we had, I don't use a Becca personally, but I know for a lot of families it really does work. It's probably, Abeka is like the oldest homeschool known curriculum, like besides the Bible, but Abeka is like, and that's because they used a lot in the private schools. In fact, one of the private schools that I taught at used Abeka. And then when my daughter did VPK, they used Abeka. So Abeka has their stuff together, but they're also going to cater to more of that traditional stuff. Sorry if you went through this. What are the signs your child does better with mastery style curriculum and spiral style? I can't talk. I still don't fully understand how mastery is different from spiral. Okay. Mastery or spiral. I can't, it's me that can't talk. It's not your writing, it's my talking. Okay. All right. So spiral means that as you are working through the curriculum, you are going to have problems from previous lessons in that curriculum. So, you know, some will do like the new lesson on integers. And then in the very end of the lesson, they'll have review problems and they'll have a bunch of problems from previous chapters. And so it's got your new lesson, but then it's going to spiral back and hit something else. But it's going to like rotate through. So the idea is, this is my visual image. It's rotating through all the previous lessons that you did. And it just keeps like this rotating, and then it adds, I don't know if that makes sense. I've got it in my head. I'm trying to like give you a visual image. So you got the chapter 17, you're going back here, and then chapter 18. It's like and it picks up the new chapters and spirals in like the review section. Some of the spiral curriculum that you'll see with math is like it builds on itself, but it also incorporates it through the actual lesson. So I'm trying to think of a really good number. I know place value is a really tough one for some kids. Like you're learning, now let's say that you're learning multiplication, and they're saying, okay, let's also review some place value while we're learning our multiplication. So you have a 3-digit number, 3 digits multiplied by 1 digit. Okay, and then you write out your answer, and then it says, well, what is the 4, or what is this 4? What is the place value? of this number in your answer or something like that. So it'll incorporate and spiral back. Okay, so mastery is going to be, you are only going to focus on this for there's no spiraling back. It's, you are going to get so good at understanding this concept, period. It might trickle in some, because math just by default builds on itself. Like, you reuse the vocabulary on a regular basis. I mean, even place values. So even though you're doing multiplication, you're still saying, 152,872. You're still saying the actual words. Sometimes you have to write it out. Sometimes you have to do it on a number line, whatever. But the point is that you're going to focus on one thing. And a good example of a mastery is going to be, I think the perfect example is going to be Math UC, which is mastery. The question that you said, what are the signs that your child does better with mastery style curriculum and spiral style? And that's going to have to be long-term signs. I mean, which one do they like better? I think the simple acts, asking them, which one do you like better? This curriculum or this curriculum? Looking at how well they do in that curriculum. If I know, one of the things too is I do know, see, this is so up for debate, and everyone's going to argue with you about this, because autism, you meet one child with autism, you met one child with autism. But I do find a lot of parents that have children with autism do like the mastery approach. Same with ADHD, because of that hyper focus. With ADHD, right, you hyper focus on one specific thing, and if you focus on that and master that, and you got all the ins and outs, like, okay, I got it, move me on to something else, but this one's solid. But yes, sometimes math builds on itself, so it's going to trickle over anyway, right? You can't be able to do multiplication if you don't know how to add, right? I love math. Can you tell? I'm a math science person, and because of IW, I'm a language person, but math was what I taught. I taught music and math and theater, and they threw me into grammar, language arts for a while, and comprehension, but I didn't like that. I just wanted to stick with the math. But anyway, hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. What would you suggest to add to IEW structure and style 1A and fix-it grammar to get spelling? I would add spelling. I would use the IEW, well, you could use IEW spelling curriculum. I go back and forth. I'm going to try it again. I also like All About Spelling. We're going to do that this summer. I'm starting June 1st with them. All About Spelling is so good, and I don't care what grade your child is in, because All About Spelling is done by grade levels. So it's so good, so good. But IEW does have a spelling curriculum, and it has the similar, because what they do is they have these cards, and they just, if you want to listen to Andrew Pudois read your child the words, you can on the streaming service. And he'll say the word, and then your child has to write it out. He'll say the next word, and your child has to write it out. That's literally what you do. But there is a theme that goes along with those spelling words. And they take the spelling test every single day until they get all the words done. That is such a classical conversation technique with the memorization. The grammar stage level, so classical conversation. Not conversation, I'm sorry, classical education. I need to clarify. So yeah, and then of course it goes, when you do it the following year, look, these year things don't work for me. When you do it the next time, whenever you finish the whole round of 31 cards, whenever your child finishes them and they're able to spell all those words perfectly, then you go back again and start over, and there's a new set of words with the same pattern, like whether you're doing AE or the whatever spelling rule they're focusing on for that lesson. And then you go through that second set of words and do the same thing, spelling test every single day. I like All About Spelling. Like, I mean, I did level 1 and 2 with my kids when they were young. We are reviewing level 2. I mean, all of us, even my 9th grader, and we're going to do level 3 because it's spelling. Like, if you don't know how to spell, it's spelling. It's not grades. It's levels. So that's what I would keep in mind. You just need to add spelling because your Fix-It Grammar is going to do all the grammar. It's going to cover all the grammar. It's also going to cover the handwriting. So if you want your child to be writing in cursive, all my kids write in cursive with Fix-It Grammar. The IEW structure and style, if you do it right, you're going to be building vocabulary because they're going to be looking for those dress ups. We have a book called, I should tell you about this. I talk about it all the time. It's called Banish Boring Words. And it's basically a book of just synonyms to different. I need to do a video specifically on this one, but it's in my videos because I talk about it all the time. But it's Banish Boring Words, and it's like $6 on Amazon. And you can get that, and it's just like a collection, and it will help with vocabulary as well. So with IEW, and even in the videos, so structure and style, he's going to be going over vocabulary words. So then you've got that vocabulary, and then you've got the actual writing process. And also because you are reading passages, literary passages, in structure and style, you're getting that literature. And I mean, you might want to add like some books to read. You might also be getting that from your history curriculum as well. So, but if not, you can get some books to read as a group, as a family, or individually. They can do oral reports. My kids write out book reports and do oral reports for dad every Friday, supposedly. That's what they're supposed to do. I cannot confirm if they do it or not. I don't know if they do or not. That's really bad. I can either confirm or deny. So if that gives you the answer whether they do it or not. Okay, anyway. So hopefully that helps. Okay. That's a really good explanation. Thank you so much. I'm in the early years and trying to get my footing. Yeah. And my kiddos on the autism. Yeah. Neurodivergent, I think, is the new word they're trying to push in the CSM or DSM. There we go. DSM. And they're trying to, I don't know if you've heard this, they're trying to blend ADHD and the autism. They're trying to put ADHD on the spectrum and then call it neurodivergent. That's the new thing that I'm hearing. Which makes sense because it's all, like, it's a lot of cognitive development stuff. So, thanks a lot. You're awesome. Yes. Okay, sorry. Mom of Down syndrome, 6-year-old. Your channel has changed. Aw. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really transparent. Allows me to see our diagnosis differently. Oh, yay. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's one thing about me is I'm really transparent. And I think that's another thing too. That's why I've thought it, I feel like I want to tell you this. How many things do I have? Oh, y'all keep writing questions. I have been looking at All About Spelling, thinking about trying it for my kids. Yeah, it's teacher intensive, 100% teacher intensive. But you literally have to be there the whole time. That's why I'm okay with doing it as a group setting. IEW spelling goes by a spelling rules, and they say the other rules every few words. Oh yeah, you're supposed to do, that's right. Every few words over and over while the student spells the words. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part. They do. They have the spelling rule, and he'll repeat it as you're doing the spelling test. Yes. And they say the sentence with the, yeah, they do. I forgot. It's been a while. Okay. Have you used IEW cursive program? No. I'm teaching my 11-year-old next year, and we love IEW. I have not used the cursive writing program. I have spoken to Andrew about his the cursive program, and I've also gone to his talks. Maybe I just listened to his talks on the cursive program. Or maybe we briefly had a conversation because I was on his podcast. I've also talked to him in person. And sometimes when you listen to him talk, like now at this point, I legit am getting it confused with actual conversations because he's so personable. So I just love him. He's like grandpa. He's No, but he's not even like he is. He's awesome. He's just good at what he does, and his program's amazing, and that's it. I'm done. His kids are awesome too. I got to know one of his daughters. Anyway, that was total side note. He's awesome. And but he's big on the cursive stuff. And I get it because of the studies being shown about how it, crosses, right? Because if you look at cursive in general, cursive handwriting is like art. It's very creative. And every single person has a different style of cursive handwriting, it seems. It looks different. And it very much connects with you. It's very personal, is what I'm trying to say. As opposed to handwriting, which is very block. And yes, it can be creative and artsy, but it's not like cursive, where there's flow and movement, and it's just so good also for your hand-eye coordination and your fine motor skills, but also like I can't think of the word, like crossing your body with just the way, the fluidity it moves. It's also gets you moving faster. And when you can move faster, you can write things faster, which is going to help you with testing. And that is actually a statistic that has been proven, according to Andrew Pudewa. So, yeah. So for 11-year-old, yes, I would do it. I would, if it's on your radar, I would do it. And use my affiliate link. No, I would love it if you guys use my affiliate link, because that keeps me connected to Andrew. It's a very selfish thing, but if you can use it, I would really love it if you use it. And my affiliate link is found on any of my IEW videos in the description. Actually, they're on all of my videos. Every single one of my videos, this video will have an IEW link. But I know that sounds very selfish, and I'm sorry if it sounds selfish, but it's not going to cost you any extra. I know, I just don't like to, I'm not a person that likes to sell, like, it's not a money thing. It's, yes, I'm an affiliate. Yes, I get money from commission. However, I like it when you use my link, because it keeps me connected to IEW, and vice versa, where I can, because I'm going to be honest, there is more to it. The connection that I have with IEW, there's more to it than just IEW. There's more to it. Needless to say, I think Andrew Pudewa I would still be able to be connected to him if I wasn't an affiliate. But I still praise. If you can use it, great. If not, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not about money, that's all. But it's not going to cost you any extra if you use my affiliate link. I would just appreciate it. Okay, moving on. For spelling, rules based on All About Spelling is great. So I've heard of Pride Reading. I don't know much about that, but I've heard that term. For a sight word based, I like Daily Skills Building and Rod and Staff. Okay. Okay, sorry, they do a track where they spell the spelling word for reviewing any corrections. Okay, your students may need to make. Then with those corrections, the student can check their spelling test. Yes, they do. It's really been a long time. I'm so glad that you are sharing this, because I was actually going to make, because I have it, and they actually, IEW just sent me another copy of their, because I lost pieces. And I want to do their spelling curriculum again. I'm just honest, I lost pieces because we moved and all the things. So yeah, I wanted to do a review on their on their spelling curriculum, and now you're reminding me. Thank you. Yes, we are going to try Sunlight next year, so I was planning to use the readers from that. I just worry about an actual literature curriculum for literature analysis. I just worry about an actual literature for literature analysis. Okay. Okay. And then she says, thank you. So I think I got that question. Thank you for your recommendations. We are new to homeschooling. We have a 3- and 1-year-old. Oh, try to get ready for the transition to school. We'll just keep reading to them. That's the best suggestion. Somebody said that to me and I didn't believe them. And then I wish I could go back to just reading to my little kids and teaching them like life skills, like potty training and, how to put your clothes away And, well, not the 1-year-old. They're not going to know how to put clothes away. But I mean, like, you know, they go in the drawer, and routines, like wake up in the morning, get dressed, get your teeth brushed, go to the bathroom, then you eat breakfast, like routine type stuff. I wish I spent more time on that. But in a fun, loving, like, yay, let's do this kind of way. Because I think it would have made life easier for me now. And then reading. Yep, I love that. Yes, that's sort of true about the ADHD and ASD starting to be combined, even with hiring practices. But we just got the diagnosis, so the ASD term is still being used. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. One handwriting curriculum I love is his story hand. Oh, I've heard about that one. His story handwriting. Each book has a print version and a cursive version. I need to remind myself of that one. I need to go back and look at that. Midline. There we go. Anatomy and physiology, astronomy, sculpture, and U.S. geography. Is that the categories for... Oh, I did use that handwriting curriculum one time. Yes, that one is a good one. I did the astronomy one. I can confirm. It's a good one. All right, both my kids use IW cursive. I will use... Thank you so much. I feel silly, like, you know, use my affiliate curriculum. I don't want to be like a salesperson. I am not. Yes, I have my curriculum. That's like my stuff that I have is like free on Teachers Paid Teachers. I don't want to sell. But I might one day. I don't know. But I'm not going to be a sale. I'm never going to be salesperson-ish. I'm not going to be the person that puts together something really fast and then like throw it in your face because I need to make money, because that's not my style. I think my style is more of trying to find ways to support other people. I'm supporting IW. Okay, I think this is in my question. There was something I wanted to tell you, and I forgot what it was because I saw the comments, and then, oh my goodness. Oh, I was going to say something about my transparency. And you know what? I was just going to say, because there's a lot of things when I go back and look at my old videos from like 5 years ago. And I'm thinking to myself how incredibly like different I am from those videos 5 years ago. And I'm tempted to like take them down, but I don't, because I want, this is my heart, okay? I want people to see the change in me, and I'm hoping that it is to be more like the Lord. That's kind of like one of the big things on my heart lately, is I want to radiate more of who God is and less of me. And I want that to be, because a lot of those videos, like I'll go back and watch some of those videos from years ago and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I am like not me. It's not me. It's me putting up a front and me trying to like be somebody I'm not. I'm getting information across and I did the research. It's just like, but so I don't know. I want people to see kind of the growth and development. And that's why I think in the beginning, like right off the back, I was like, this is a journey. I don't know everything. You know, I'm learning with you guys, and I love having these conversations. I love, like, you guys don't even know, I love coming on here and getting all these ideas. And I don't know, I just love it. Like, it's just a lot of fun. So I really appreciate it a lot that you guys take your time to hang out with me on a Tuesday night, even though I can't see you and I wish I could. I do have something on here where I could, like, if anybody ever wanted to jump on, but I would be like kind of nervous because I've had some weird, not you guys, because you guys are cool so far. I've had some like weirdos comment. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. Not tonight, but I got to be careful. Anyway, it would be fun to have another person on here just to kind of banter back and forth. I'm like, okay, because I learned so much from you guys and it's so much fun. And I know you guys learn from each other. It'd be fun to do like a Zoom. I feel like I should just do like a Zoom. There's a group that I go to. They just Zoom and it's great. Anyway, okay, so the last comment from Rachel says, speaking of teacher pay teacher, my son loves when I print out. Yay! Good. I'm glad somebody other than Naomi is using it. But I hate making something, especially since there's a lot of things in there that glorify the Lord. I hate making something and not making it available to other people, because then I feel like it's kind of like a waste. I want to StreamYard. StreamYard's weird because it's like, it costs, unless, I mean, you could do the free version, but then you get the duck in the corner. And Zoom you could do privately, though. Like, I guess you could do StreamYard. I've never done StreamYard privately. Now I'm thinking out loud. I need to stop thinking so much. I have to look into that. But I do have a paid subscription to Zoom, not StreamYard. So, because I do all my evaluations and consultations and testing through Zoom. I wonder if I could do it through StreamYard, because I like the quality of StreamYard better. You're saying, ha ha ha. I'm thinking through all of this. Like, could I, but see, then people, see, that's where it gets tricky, because some of the people that I do evaluations for, they get really nervous when I say StreamYard, and they're like, ooh, I don't know that platform, and they don't want to jump on. But if I do Zoom, they're like, okay, I know Zoom. And there's this comfort level. I do have a few that refuse to use Zoom altogether, and they have me either do FaceTime, or there's this other one, Livewire. She has me do Livewire with her because it's extremely, like, I guess there's a lot of private stuff, settings on it. So yeah, I don't know if I could switch over to StreamYard successfully. Plus I have it all connected to my Calendly, and I don't think they do it with StreamYard. Even though I would like to have StreamYard, but I don't know. I have to think about it. I have to research it. Anyway, thank you. All right, it's getting late, and I'm going to, one of my kids is still up. I think he's with Dad, and they're doing something. I hear him next door. So I'm going to go check and see what they're doing, and I will be back next Tuesday. I am going to put a poll up, hopefully, probably tomorrow, to see what kind of titles that you guys might like to hear. Topics, even though, yeah, we did kind of stay on curriculum. Yes. And see what we can talk about. I'll try, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna block them out for the whole summer. And then you can be like, oh, that doesn't sound interesting, or that really sounds interesting. And you can pick and choose. I'll probably just block it out for 2 months, or no, maybe a month. I don't know. I always like to test it out to see how you guys respond. I give it a good couple weeks. Sorry, I'm getting tired. All right, guys. Well, have a really good night. Thank you guys so much for hopping on and spend time with me. And I will see you next week, or I will have a video. I will have a video up on Tuesday, another curriculum. It's going to be a review on either my 4th grade or my high school or my 8th grade. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I got to figure out. Anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.